but Samantha Powers has been just texting me morning, noon, and night. Samantha, look in the mirror. The reason USAID is going to cease to exist as it did before is because it should. I can't go home and say, this is soft power. Operas, whatever agenda you got, needs to be focused on making America safer and prosperous by working with people. So USAID is a victim of their own excesses.
Donald Trump and his MAGA stows continue to push this lie that they won the 2024 election in some huge victory in a historic mandate, when in fact it's anything but the truth. Donald Trump has a razor-thin majority in Congress, and he barely won the popular vote, and it's the reason that they're already running into trouble with passing a government funding bill, so much so that Lindsey Graham quite literally broke down and began to cry when talking about the struggles of getting their one big beautiful bill through. And we are going to get into that meltdown from Lindsey and all the trouble that Republicans are facing. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. And it really does mean a lot to me now. Before we get into Lindsey and his meltdown, we have to get to the reason why Republicans can't get this bill through Congress, and it's because Democrats aren't going to bail them out. Someone who was talking about that was Jasmine Crockett right here.
What do you think? There's this question about what leverage, and you have to be really creative. There's only so much leverage, different kinds of leverage you can use in the minority. What do you think about this notion of threatening a government shutdown, and how far do you think it should go?
Yeah, so I don't think that this is really a threat of a government shutdown. Here's the reality. They believe that they have a mandate. They believe that this little itty bitty win that they had, where this is a slimmer majority in the House than they had when ICE were in. They believe winning over the Senate. They believe winning the White House, that they have a mandate. And listen, my policies don't align with that mandate. So if you believe that this is what the American people want, then get it done. All of y'all, because y'all have a Trump trifecta. But don't come to us for me to do things like tear my community apart by making sure that we get rid of the Department of Education, by making sure that Elon Musk somehow and his little cronies. And just to be clear, if you're talking about, somebody sent me a meme today and it said, if Elon Musk was really serious about cutting out waste, then why wouldn't he go get a bunch of accountants? Instead, he went and got computer programmers. That tells you what this is. It's a nefarious thing that they're up to. And we know that we are probably going to have difficulty with them complying with the law. But right now, we know that in the House, they're going to have 217 to 215. What that means for everybody sitting at home is that they literally cannot lose one vote. So go be great.
Go be great. So I ask about the government shutdown.
I love this approach. There is no reason that we need to bail them out if they want to continue to say that they want some overwhelming mandate and that they have complete control of everything and there will be no concessions. Even if there are small concessions on the table, no Republicans, you made your bed. Now let it catch on fire because you're an obstructionist party by nature. And you can't actually govern. We know that to be the truth. We saw it in the last Congress. Republicans are completely inept and unable to govern. It will be the case in this one as well. And so go ahead. Continue to mess things up. They can't get their bill through. And it's what Lindsey Graham was talking about when, like I said, he just completely imploded, talking about a border bill he wants passed and save the crocodile tears. Because we're going to get into the reason that's so ridiculous after we check out Lindsey right here.
I was with Speaker Johnson at the Super Bowl Sunday with President Trump, and I told him, and I want to tell everybody in the country, I'm a huge fan, and nothing would please me more than one big, beautiful bill passed by the House that did all the things we need to do to make us prosperous and safe. That is my preference. Now, what guides my thinking is the problem we have now. We're running out of money. So we had Tom Holman and Russ Vought speak to the conference today, and I'm urging the speaker to invite them over and let them tell the House what they told us. Tom Holman said, I am begging you for money. Russ Vought said that we're running out of money for ICE. We can't rob other accounts any longer. Why do we need this money? There are 300,000 children that are missing we want to find. The sooner we can find them, we'll end their abuse. And they're being abused while I speak. So to the American people, if you want your government to track down these 300,000 immigrant children that are missing, we need more money to do it. To the American people, if you'd like to finish the wall, we need more money to do it. If you want a more modern border, we need money to do it. If you believe that President Trump is right to track down and deport criminal aliens and clean up the mess that's been created over the last 4 years, we need more ICE agents. They gave us a summary of what $175 billion would do. It would be enough money for 4 years to implement President Trump's border agenda, immigration agenda on the security side. I am a fairly hawkish guy. I am telling you right now, I've never seen more threats to our nation than I do right now. We need $150 billion to help the military yesterday, and that will be part of this bill. We'll have money for the Coast Guard. We're just not going to spend $350 billion. We're going to pay for it. So what will happen tomorrow, hopefully, we'll mark up a budget resolution bill that says the Armed Services Committee will come up with a $150 billion plan to increase spending to make our military stronger and more lethal. We'll come up with a $175 billion plan to secure the border. That will be Judiciary and Homeland Security. We'll enact that plan working with the administration. The other committees will be instructed by the Budget Committee to find offsets. So what will they do? They will go into mandatory spending accounts and find offsets to pay for this. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And why are we doing it tomorrow? After hearing these two gentlemen today, we're living on borrowed time. I've never been more worried about a terrorist attack on our homeland than I am now. Tom Holman said that the activity on the northern border is at an alarming rate. The number of suspected terrorist types have moved from the southern border to the northern border. After Tom talked about trying to find these children, half of us started to cry. You have no idea what hell these kids are going through. And the sooner we can give ICE and other people the money to free them, the better off our country will be. To my friends in the House, we're moving because we have to. I wish you the best. I want one big, beautiful bill, but I cannot and I will not go back to South Carolina and justify not supporting the president's immigration plan. We're not building a wall, folks. We're hitting a wall. They need the money, and they need it now.
Senator Capito.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't buy the pretend sorrow. Think of the children from Lindsey Graham. I don't buy this shtick that he is delivering now. Of course, we do want people to be protected. We do want a secure border that makes sure that children crossing are safe. We do want our border patrol to make sure that people are not in harm's way. That's what we were trying to do with the bipartisan border deal under President Biden and Vice President VP Harris. We already did this. It was a bill we were trying to get passed. But of course, Republicans didn't want the same issues they care about today. Or shall we say, claim to care about were on the table. But what they really wanted was the political issue. That's what they always want. It's why they don't want any bipartisan border reform, immigration reform. No. And keep the political issue on the table. That's what they care about most. So spare me the tears. Lindsey Graham, spare me the faux concern and the faux outrage about your big, beautiful bill, because we warned you and we told you. Listen to VP Harris right here.
Another issue, big one, is immigration. As Vice President, you were tasked with addressing the root causes of migration in southern countries and
Northern part of Central America.
The northern part of Central America that affects the southern border of the U.S. During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings. Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock, and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again? I just want to ask
Not only push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Now, you might be saying, if you are a skeptical viewer of this show, well, Jack, it's VP Harris. She's making a campaign speech right there. She's in an interview. She's trying to win that election. Maybe what she's saying, again, as a skeptical viewer here, isn't true. Maybe she's just trying to spin the story, and maybe that's even what Lindsey Graham would say if he saw that clip. But Lindsey Graham would then also be faced with this clip right here. So if you don't believe me, and you don't believe VP Harris, take a listen to Lindsey Graham.
And I regret that. So everybody who comes on this floor and says our border's broken, we should do something about it, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, we didn't get there. President Trump opposed a Senate bill. We couldn't find a better way forward that would get 60 votes. I hate that, but now we have to deal with what's left for us to take care of in the world.
So the Lindsey Graham acknowledged that Donald Trump was to blame for the failure of the passage of the bipartisan border deal. We knew this. We talked about it extensively, and much like every other warning we gave and every other promise Donald Trump has failed to deliver on, it's starting to hurt people. I hate that the theme of this presidency is, I told you so, but it's kind of out of our hands at this point. We did try to tell people. So Donald Trump is now the one costing them. So once again, I say to Lindsey Graham's sad little plea for his beautiful bill, maybe you should have voted for VP Harris, Lindsey. Maybe you should have. And it's just sad that he continues to embarrass himself like this. We got Joe on tape. Lindsey, we have you in 4K. We recorded it. You spoke the words. Now you got to deal with them. And deal with them. They will. And we're going to be holding them accountable. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.